So yeah, big progress. As you can probably tell, I'm driving. It's not that easy though, I gotta tell you. It's Saturday. It's about 80, almost 90 degrees out up here in northern New York, which does not happen very often. So it's pretty well miserable. But I'm running to the store right now to pick up some whipped cream and some shortcake things because Mom and Amara are at home making strawberry shortcake. Or preparing strawberry shortcake, which will be for our dinner tonight. And it gives me a chance to go and practice driving again. I've only driven one other time, and that was Thursday afternoon after my follow-up appointment. And it's not been that easy. I'm sitting up a little bit closer than I normally would. Just kind of testing this out here. Welcome to the MCDailyVlog. It's been a while. I apologize. Part of that has been because, quite honestly, there hasn't been any changes. It's not really been anything different. Nothing really to report. There was some changes to report, but I wanted to talk to the doctor first on Thursday about that. I had my 2-week follow-up, which I'm going to go into more detail on. And the stuff I was worried about is actually one of the reasons why driving is not that easy right now. Long story short, my back feels fine. Yes, it's still a little stiff. That's understandable. My back's not in pain. What is in pain is my right leg. Pretty much going from the top of my right buttock, no $1 million wound, unfortunately. From the top of my right buttock all the way down my leg. I think I talked a bit about before. Problem I was having sleeping was because my right calf was cramping. I still have that with a vengeance, but it's moved up my leg, and it makes walking difficult. I've gotten really good with the cane. It's not that bad. There have been times though, either getting up off of the couch or getting up out of a chair, when I first try and stand up after getting out of the vehicle, I can't put any weight on my right leg. I can't even straighten my right leg at first because of the pain shooting down my leg. So yeah, that's the big concern for me right now that I am working on, and that's one of the things I talked to the doctor about. But I'm not going to talk about that just yet. You're going to have to wait because I'm going into the grocery store to grab those few things, and then I'm going to drive home, and then I'll do some more videoing there. All right? I'll be right back. All right, and I'm back. Thanks for the patience there, everybody. Man, I'm crooked again. Look at that. Let me see here. Let me fix that. See if I can't straighten that up a little bit. All right. Well, welcome back. Sorry about the delay. Was able to get back just fine from the grocery store. But like I was saying, driving's not that easy. As you can see, like I mentioned last week in my vlog, I upgraded from the walker to my cane. And at first I really didn't need it that much because things were going pretty well. Just that general stiffness and the cramping in my calf. But this past Monday, about 5-6 days ago, which would have been day 12 post-surgery or 13 post-surgery, 2 days before the 2-week point on the surgery, would have been the 13th of June. The pain in my leg, my right leg, this one, right leg, had spread. My right calf is still cramping up significantly on and off through the day and through the night, but the pain has gone all the way up to the top of my right buttock. No $1 million wound in there. I think I mentioned that earlier. Not really sure if I did or not, but anyway, it goes all the way from the top of my right buttock. No $1 million wound like Forrest got, so no ice cream for me. all the way down the outside of my leg, through my thigh, through my quads, my hamstring, down my calf, and then through to my foot. Really, the only time that it doesn't do that is when I'm laying down flat. Just sitting here right now like this is not exactly comfortable. I can feel it. It feels like everything's pulling in there, and it's throbbing quite significantly. And that was making it even more difficult to sleep Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night. But I was still getting, 4, maybe 5 hours of sleep around in there. It's pretty consistent. I'd fall asleep pretty quick because of all my pills. Sleep for about 2.5 hours. Wake up for about an hour, hour and a half. And then either fall asleep for another 2.5 hours. And then just be awake, or kind of doze in and out of consciousness for the rest of the night. Thursday, on the 16th, I had my 2-week follow-up appointment with Dr. Lavelle down in Syracuse. And it went pretty well. We got down there a little early, which was good because they wanted to do some x-rays on my back, which was a lot easier to do than when they'd wanted me to do the x-rays at the hospital, the day after or 2 days after my surgery, when I could barely stand up on my own without it just being excruciatingly painful. It was still painful, but I was able to hold up okay. But my leg was not doing so good. I'll get into more about when it's really aggravating me, so that if you ever have this done, it's something that could possibly happen to you, or maybe I'm just super special. So then I got to sit and talk to Dr. Lavelle. He looked at the x-rays, and that was the first chance I got to see the x-rays. I really wish I had thought to take the pictures of it. That way I could throw them up here to show you, because when he mentioned the 4 screws in my back, he said 4 little screws in the back. I'm thinking, little, the decorative type screws, just in there in the back, just so that it can hold the wires in there. We're talking good inch and a half long screws, basically going from the back to the front of the vertebrae on either side. So there's 2 on either side, one on the L5, one on the S1, okay, like this. And then in the back, there's banding holding them together, okay? So what that's doing, all right, follow along with me here. So here's the front, okay, here's the back. With my discs, say your discs are normal, healthy space. Mine was significantly reduced. So what the doctor did is he jacked up the front, went in there, dug out the disc, put the plug in there with the polymorphic regenerative proteins, okay, the bone graft chemicals, shoved that in there, and by doing so, he elevated it back up to where the bone height, or the disc height, used to be, or where it should be, in the front. Well, in doing so, it didn't jack up the back. What it did is it reduced the space in the back. Okay, so it's more of a V now, as opposed to straight across. So I got to see those screws, and that was kind of wild, seeing that big of hardware in my back. I won't be able to get any MRIs anytime soon, or ever. I don't know though if I'll have to get a card for the metal detectors at the airport. Don't know. He didn't say anything about it, so I might not need to. But I mentioned to him, and he said that was looking pretty good. He was asking how I was feeling, and I said, well, I'm having a big problem with the cramp. I said, the whole time I've been having trouble with my right leg cramping up. It feels like it's cramping, but it's like throbbing tightness and pain. The only thing I can relate it to is a cramp. But I said, the last few days, it's been going from the top of the right of my buttock all the way down my leg. Is going all the way down to your toes, the top of your foot, bottom of your foot. I said, it's going along the top of my foot and, the outside of my leg. He said, well, there's 3 things it could be. He said, the first one is that one of the screws is going bad. It happens. There's a percentage, every once in a while they go bad, or the body just rejects it. But he said that looking at the x-rays, that if one of them was already rejecting, it'd probably start to manifest itself as being rejecting already. But it didn't look to be that. So he doesn't think it's that, but he's going to keep an eye on it. He said another option is there's chemical irritation from the polymorphic regenerative proteins, the bone graft chemicals, in there, and that's causing irritation on the nerves in the form of swelling. That could be what it is. And if that's the case, it'll eventually work itself out. The third option that he mentioned that it could be is when he jacked up the front of the discs and it reduced the back of the discs, and the back where the nerves feed through, there's not enough room in there. And it's pinching that nerve on my right side now. And that's the more serious of the three options. Because that's not just something that'll end up, that could just go away on its own. But if that's what it is, it's probably not going to go away on its own. Because he said, you know, what he may end up having to do is going back in there, putting me under again, going in there and drilling out the space between the two vertebrae where the nerve goes, so it has room and it's not impinging on there. But he said that was not plan A. That was like plan B or C or D or whatever. In the meantime, he did put me on a new medicine. It's like a nerve blocking medicine. Wait a second. Oh gosh. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. I forgot to bring my paper out. See? No show prep. Rank amateur. I'm a noob. So forgive me. But the name of the medication is gabapentin. And I'm going to look like an old man reading this too. The common brand name is Neurontin. Used with other medication to prevent and control seizures. It's also used to relieve nerve pain following shingles in adults. Gabapentin is known as an anticonvulsant or anti-epileptic drug. Now, I don't have shingles, I don't have seizures, I don't have epilepsy. But since it's the nerves, it's activating on those nerves, and that's what the doctor is, you know, trying to see if that's what will work. Side effects. This is always the fun part. When you go to the pharmacy, always read the side effects. They're always good for a laugh. Side effects: drowsiness, dizziness, loss of coordination. I have none. Tiredness, always. Blurred and double vision. I've noticed a little bit of that actually. Unusual eye movements. Shaking or tremor may occur. If any of these effects persist or worsen, tell your doctor or pharmacist promptly. Tell your doctor right away if you have any of these unlikely to serious side effects: swelling the hands, ankles, feet, signs of infection. Small number of people who take anticonvulsants for any conditions such as seizures, bipolar disorder, pain, may experience depression, suicidal thoughts and attempts, or mental mood problems. You know what I've noticed? Every single medicine these days is a side effect of suicide or mental illness. Have you noticed that? I'm just saying, you know, I've noticed that. What's the deal with that? Maybe it's because everybody's depressed, or depression is a natural thing to happen to people. It's part of life. That's a whole other issue. So yeah, precautions. You just got to be careful with it. I don't have kidney disease, so there's no big deal there. I'm not breastfeeding, which is good because the gabapentin passes into breast milk. Obviously, I'm not breastfeeding because I haven't just had a child. So, you know. So yeah, so that's the meds that I'm on. But yeah, the drowsiness, the doc put me on a pretty high dose. It's 300 milligram that he put me on. Put me on a pretty high dose. He says it's probably going to make you sleepy. And if it's making you sleepy, don't keep that to yourself. You know, speak up. I was like, well, if it's making me sleepy, then I'll just take it at night and it'll help me sleep. He said, it's a good call. If you can get it through the day, then that'll help you at least at night to get you some rest and get you some comfort at night. But he said, if it's working, I don't want you taking it long term. I don't want you taking this forever. Because it's just going to mask the problem, okay? He wants to, you know, I have a follow-up with him in 6 weeks. I'll let him know if it's been working at that point. If there's any issues between now and then, I'll obviously let him know. He did say out of work for at least another 6 weeks. We'll reevaluate then, depending on how I'm going. I may just do partial days, may do full days, may not do any. Don't know yet. We'll know more at the end of July. But good news was when I got home on Thursday, Mom let me drive for the first time in 2 weeks by myself. I went down to the gas station, I think. Yes, I went down to the gas station to get gas for the lawnmower and for my burn pit. I've got branches I need to burn. But sitting up adds extra pressure on my leg like this. This is not comfortable right now. I'll tell you right now, that's kind of why I'm fidgety with my cane here. And as you probably noticed when I was sitting down is not easy. Standing up is even less easy. But when I got home that night, I tried that gabapentin, and it took me all of about 3 minutes to fall asleep. I ended up getting a full 8 hours of sleep. I slept for 3.5 hours. I was awake for 15 minutes, just long enough to go to the bathroom, take another pill, open the windows in my room because it was cool out, and then lay back down, and I was right back out again. I didn't end up getting up until, I didn't waking up until after 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I didn't end up getting out of bed until about 8:30, 8:45. And even at that, I wouldn't have, but yesterday Amar had her 6th grade Olympics at school, one of the big year-end festivitas. She's only got 3 half days left, so we brought her home with us. It's been wonderful having her here again, especially since this is Father's Day weekend. I'm very blessed to be a father. I have a wonderful daughter. She's a great kid. She really is. She's very special. I don't mean that in a bad, special way. I mean in a good way. She's very special, and I love her. She's why I do what I do. So I'm very thankful to be a father, and I'm very thankful for Father's Day. Very thankful for my father, Bill, as some people call him, Billy, as his siblings call him, and his mom calls him, Pastor Bill. He's a great dad. I just wish I could be more like him. And on the bright side, I don't get to see him tomorrow on Father's Day because he has to preach tomorrow on Father's Day. But afterwards, he's hitting the road. He's going to stop in Erie, Pennsylvania for the night, and then he's going to be up here Monday afternoon, probably early afternoon. So I get to see Dad for a couple of days before him and Mom head back down over to Michigan on Wednesday afternoon or early Thursday morning. So I'm looking forward to that. But happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. My brothers who are fathers, my uncles, the grandparents out there, my friends who are fathers, all of my friends as fathers. Happy Father's Day. Tomorrow's your day. Enjoy it. Have a blast. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna upload this now. Probably gonna be like a 20-minute long one, but again, I apologize for taking so long to do this one. But there really wasn't much of an update until Thursday, and Thursday night, my allergies were driving me insane. Yesterday we were out in the sun all day and hot at those Olympics all afternoon. By the time we got home, I was worn out. And then today, my leg was actually, I was going to do more this morning, but my leg was really acting up. And I didn't sleep much last night because of it. But I finally got up there. Again, we're about 18 days post-op, L5-S1, spinal fusion, A-lift procedure, and a P-lift procedure. Doing okay. Not great by any stretch, but I'm doing okay. Taking it a day at a time. Hopefully I'll get another one of these tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then maybe Monday. But if not, just keep an eye on the Twitters, MCDailyVlog. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to turn the notifications on so that when I do upload one of these, it'll be on there. And here eventually, now that summer's getting ready to start next week, may have more just regular, just general interest vlogs that have nothing to do with my back surgery, other than the fact that I'm walking around with a cane, and you may see me walking around with a cane saying, why is he walking around on a cane like that? Well, the only reference I have for how to walk with a cane is the Willy Wonka with Gene Wilder in it, or the TV show House. That's really all I've got going for me on how to walk with a cane. So I'm making do with what's comfortable and that what feels good, or feels less bad. But anyway, thank you again so much for watching. Tell your friends. Have a great day. Good night. Oh.